Welcome back. Well, as you can see there, Etok Ezekiel joins us next. He is a member of the Mega Party and also a member of the steering committee of the NC Front. He joins us this morning via Zoom from Uyo. Good morning and thank you for joining us today on the program. Wow, what a time it is in the history of this country, given what we're going through now. But I wonder what the thinking is of the Mega Party. Can this be a party solution, or this has moved beyond just party suggested or recommendations as solutions, you think?
Very, very far from being a party solution in the conventional or strategic way that we understand parties to be. One of the things that I think I was noted for when I became the national chairman of the Young Democratic Party was a statement that I made that every party is government. Every party is government, either in power or in waiting. And if party is government, it means that we now have to go back and restructure our understanding conventional of what party is. So within the NC front, we have looked at issues extremely dispassionately, professionally, intellectually, because any system that is not based on sound fundamentals cannot make progress. And that's what the challenge we've had in Nigeria. So the question is, what is party? We have spent the last couple of months strategizing, looking into what is policy, what is manifesto, what is the ground norm of the country, what is the foundation of our constitution. And we traced it right back to chapter 2, section 14, subsection 2b, that says that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. So based on that, we've gone down to look at things from first principles, and that is what is informing what NC Front is coming up with. You cannot play politics as politics. Politics is so important. Maybe as we talk further, we'll understand. So women and men of conscience have said, enough of this thing that we call politics. We need to understand what governance is. And I think that I want to salute the effort of the NC Front and other Nigerians, well-meaning, like the School of Politics, Policies, and the governance. That's enlightening us, letting Nigerians understand that we are where we are because of the choices that we have made as a people and as a nation. Let me just end on this note. Very, very simple. If you look at three organizations, if you look at Ibom Air, okay, you look at the Nigerian Super Eagles, and you look at the government, you will be shocked that nobody will board Ibom Air if they see a man tying wrapper and wearing raffia cap and going into the cockpit. Everybody will run out because they say, no, we can't do that. We will go up in arms and will be willing to sacrifice the son of this soil, called, I'll remember his name, for a Dutch, because we must have a competent national coach. Now, this is an aircraft that carries a few number of people. This is sports that's just a game, win or lose, life continues. But the third is the Federal Republic of Nigeria. How come the most important institution in the land that affects our lives, we couldn't care less about the leadership recruitment criteria? That is what NC Front has come in to say, please, enough of this thing. Everybody, it doesn't matter whether you're in APC, you're in PDP, you're in ADC, so long as you're men and women of conscience, come, let's build a national rescue team vehicle. And that's what the NC Front is all about. And I am so thrilled. Yes, go on.
This national rescue strategy or plan, as you put it, how many do you think can wait for this plan to actually begin to yield fruits when people are faced with immediate security and safety needs? How will that message resonate with those kind of people?
Thank you. You see, the point is not how long will they wait. When you know that you have to write JAMB to get into the university. The question is, what is the solution? Short-term, long-term. We've been doing this, this here and now mentality that the army foisted on us. We need to be willing to break the egg if we want to eat the omelette. That time has come when we must, and I want to salute the media. That time has come when we must tell Nigerians that there are consequences. There are hard decisions we must take. Look at the issue of insecurity. How many of us do not know that when these people kidnap this I don't know whether to call them people or animals, when they kidnap our children, our fathers, our mothers, what do? The first is that they demand ransom. They know that we are going to be so agitated, we are going to be so emotional, get them back at whatever cost. It doesn't matter. We give them money. We fuel their operations. They get bigger. The bigger they get, the more they operate, the more money they make, the bigger they operate, the more insecure we are. It's a vicious cycle that just leads. Can we just say, look, please, fellow Nigerians, we've got to take some very hard decisions. These are the things that the National Consultative Front is doing. It starts with the most fundamental, most basic, which is, what is the terms of this, our union, of our staying together, of our marriage? I mean, what are the fundamentals? The Bible is very clear. Two cannot work together except they be agreed. So the question is, if we must evolve from being a country to being a nation, what are the imperatives? What are the fears? What are the concerns? What are the expectations of the people from the north, the south, the east, the west, the minorities, the least tribe in Nigeria? How can we evolve a template that works? It is within that context that when the National Consultative Front came up with, what they call the People's Constitution, some people were agitated, and we said no. And they set up a team that is unparalleled. And I want to salute these elders, they're led by Dr. Agbakoba. And you have the most eminent of Nigerians coming to work on it free. They, drawn from all the sides, all the divides of this country, and they've started. Okay? Now, when these people, let me tell you the most important part in all this. When hope, there's something about hope, there's something about a perception that is stronger than reality. When these people know that we are starting to take proactive decisions, they will start to disengage. And the more they disengage, the more that we are able to advance if we have people who are thinkers in government. And that is where, look, if you look at a system where you have the likes of Patrick, Professor Patrick Utomi, or Gali Nabad, right honorable, you have the likes of, Professor Jega, who has come up forcefully to say, Nigerians, let us go in a direction that makes sense. These are people that are taking no prisoners. But look at Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, leading Northern elders.
Right, speaking about this direction that we need to go together, I'm just wondering, how are you planning to approach these terms of our staying together when already there are different calls from different quarters calling for secession, calling for having our own nation, but yet you think we can go in one direction? So how do you plan to tackle that?
I'll tell you that. It's very, very simple. When there's something that frustration does, and hopelessness, when no matter how hungry you are, there's a way you are in the parlor and you smell something coming from the kitchen, and you just tell yourself, it's a matter of time, something is coming. But when there's no hope, when you don't see anything, you're going to start asking yourself, what do I do? How can I get food? What can I do? Look, this hunger is going to kill me. I'm not going to take any more, because right now they saw no hope in the horizon. They looked at our constitution, they looked at our governance system, they looked at things that were happening, and they just saw no hope. But by the time they heard that the National Consultative Front was coming in, and they started to hear the names that were coming, these are not political entrepreneurs. These are people that have proven track record. Some people have said, hey, yeah, but we've had their names before. Please, I beg you to go and look at the tenure of Right Honorable Nabagali when he was the Speaker of the House of
I
Reps.
understand. I mean, you speak definitely so highly of these personalities, but specifically because we have a very present challenge. We'll still talk security, but when you touched on these are terms of staying together, I just wanted to get an insight into the thinking of the NC front on how to approach this, because more than ever before, it seems the clamor is at its loudest, and it seems everybody, or at least those people calling for it, are really serious about it. So how do you plan to tackle that?
Two things. The NC front had set up several strategic committees. One of the committees is networking with National Assembly and the federal government, because we're not the standard opposition thing. No, it's the Rescue Nigeria team. And you need to work with the current system to make them, not derail. If you have somebody that's partially impaired that is driving, the best you can do is get as close as possible to the driver and tell the driver, please go left, go right. So currently, now, when you hear some of the things happening now, you would have realized that there are a few policies of government that are starting to change. It's because we've moved into the ears of the government to give them strategic thinking. For instance, we have brought up the fact that people should be enlightened as much as possible. Enlightened on, security measures. Engage the people. Don't only talk in terms of we want to buy equipment, we want to do this, we want to do that. The biggest, armory that you have in any country is the people. Bring hope back to the people. Let the people know that they can do this, they can do that. Look at the attacks that were foiled in Kaduna State. How did it happen? Because government is starting to buy the concept of enlightening the people. I know the chief of army staff, I think he was, that said, confront them with your hands. Now, that was a very crude way of passing down a message. Robbers or vandals or all these assassins and the rest, they are afraid of light. They are afraid. They want to throw so much fear to you. So we're telling Nigerians on our own, while the military should be giving us, examples of what they are doing and inspiring hope in us, we within the National Consultative Front, we've set up several strategic, engagement platforms when we are telling Nigerians what to do, and we're telling them the implication of things. And people are starting to have a certain mindset aspect. We've got to face this issue. We've got to solve it here now. It's like cancer. If we don't exercise it, at the end of the day, our life is going to be gone.
So are you saying, in essence, pardon me, so are you saying in essence that for the NC front, the way forward is one Nigeria and not calls for secession? Which one is the NC front backing?
It's very clear. Nobody wants to leave Nigeria. I want us to get that very clear. Everybody just wants to be treated as a normal human being that has the right to be here. Why would I not have a country? Everybody knows what citizenship means. Citizenship means belonging to a country, to a space where your life matters, where you are important, where you can become anything. Just dream, work, and you can actualize. So long as that paradigm does not exist, then that nationhood has no basis. A nation is different from a state or a country. A nation must have that agreeing binding cord, that puts us together. It could be the hope, it could be whatever it is that makes me, know that as a Nigerian, I can be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to know that if I work hard, I can be anything. I want to, so long as I'm given that space, the bigger, the better. So we want to be Nigerians, but we don't want to be foreigners in our land. We don't want one set of laws to apply in the north and another set of laws to apply in the south. If this is a secular state, let it be a secular state. If you want to be a religious state, then I can decide if I want to belong to a country that is Christian or that is Muslim. I have a choice. I can live. But so long as we have the foundations, the fundamentals set clearly, and that is why the NC front is starting from first principles, which is looking at the Constitution. And this is a very easy thing to do. They put up the most formidable team. Some days back, one of our brothers came, Dr. Chief Mike Ezekome. He gave us a breakdown of the peoples involved. And it was impressive. The whole nation was like, well, wow, if this people can come together at no cost to any system as a sacrifice, then there is hope. And that hope alone, that feeling of hope alone has driven Nigerians to start to wonder, can it happen? Will it happen? Should it happen? And we're taking the next step, which is that don't hope for it to happen, make it happen. That's why some of us have come out. We don't wait. I didn't wait for NC Front to look for me, and I didn't wait. I went to them. I want to be a part. And they said, God, we want people like you. And that's why I'm here today talking about the NC Front, because belonging to some of the most strategic committees. Nigerians, don't wait. It will never come. Take. And we can take this thing in two ways. Either we wait and then the violent people overrun us, or we move in and take the space, and the time has come when women of men of conscience must come in. Don't wait to be invited.
Earlier on,
our address.
Just a moment.
Okay,
you began talking about,
No,
the array of people
you said earlier
that are
on
at the forefront of the NCF front, and so many people, consider them, as you said, significantly
I can't hear your volume.
Dependable to talk to.
I can't
Perhaps
hear.
the primary challenge right now is
I can't hear from Lagos. I can't hear from Lagos.
You know very well that the trust deficiency.
On that Abuja angle, but let me just put this in while we sort that out. Earlier on, when Chamberlain asked that, do you think people can wait for these fruits to germinate because we have a very present challenge? I mean, earlier on we were discussing the abduction in Kaduna, the fact that those 39 students are still in captivity as we speak right now. 23 female, the rest are male, and we hate to imagine what is going on right now. So these women and men of conscience that you say make up the NC front, do you have a short-term solution, as it were, to this very present challenge, especially when you look at the way the government is handling it, the response of the parents, and the general, conversation around it? Are we going the right direction?
Yes. Two things. The first is that NC Front is not government yet. So you must understand who you are and what you must do. As a result, we are having a two-line engagement. One with government. We are giving government, if you can notice, there are certain changes that are coming up in the government, their language, their approach to things. For instance, you have to come up with a definite policy on terrorism. You must. On kidnapping. You must. On abductions. What is the policy of government? Do you want to negotiate and engage? All this issue of being politically right, okay, we need to be careful and all those things. They're emboldening them. A time has to come when a tough leader has to take a tough decision.
We're winding down now. But, General Gowon did make a suggestion some time ago, very recently, as a matter of fact. He thinks Nigeria should rotate the presidency amongst the 6 geopolitical zones, and then there should be 2 vice presidents. One of them should be elected. The other should come from the zone where the president comes from. He thinks that this will be the key to peace, tranquility, and development. Additionally, he also suggested that the governorship should be rotated among the 3 senatorial districts in each state, thinking that, yes, it will equally allow for peace to reign from the center to the federating units. What do you think of it?
We've had a robust discussion on that in the NC front. And we said you must put the horse before the cart, okay? Horse in front, cart behind. The number 1 requirement for the president or the governor of any state or president of this country is competence, capacity, character. That is number 1. You must put that first. But you can have a second argument that each of these or these together can be found in any of the regions. Let me tell you a little end on this that will make you know how Nigerians think. There was a time we wanted to qualify for World Cup and we were playing Cameroon. I think it was in Akwa Ibom here. 8 of the 11 players were from a certain section of the country. 8 of the 11 players. Nigerians don't give a hoot where you come from. Just win and qualify. And when they won and qualified, the whole nation was in jubilation. Don't bring somebody from Southeast that is going to destroy this country. I will not vote for the person because of sentiment. But there are competent people from Southeast, if that will assuage and make them feel like that they're part of this country. I subscribe to that, to the extent that the first principle is that the person has competence, capacity, and character. Outside of that, I'm willing to vote for the president's brother, President Buhari's brother, if I find him to be so competent, so qualified, and yet the Southeast brings me something like all these governors and all these people that they are bringing. But I want to tell the Southeast that we are, sentimentally, we agree with them, but they have stars. Let them start with Arabia star.
We need to anchor at this point in time.
For excellence.
And perhaps the scenario in Switzerland, I mean, it's not what they're suggesting, not that it's never been done before in any part of the world. Several countries have certain similar suggestions or carrying them out as a matter of fact. But we do thank you for your perspective this morning. Etok Ezekiel, member steering committee of the NC Front.
Thank you for having me. I'm grateful.
All right, so let's take a look at some of the comments. Ayo, you guys have some of them, or do we take? Okay, let's see. Whichever comments comes through, we will take it.
Oh, yes, indeed. We have this one from Comrade Francis Ewedike. Long name there, Osedume. It says, insecurity in Nigeria. Insecurity in Nigeria has gotten to an embarrassing height. Sadly, the government knows what to do, but prefers playing politics with the lives and properties of Nigerians just to keep cashing out. Too bad.
Now, with that kind of perspective, Ayuba says, what is bad in giving hope and empathizing with the parents of the School of Forestry Mechanization in Kaduna? Please don't keep them in the dark. Let them know that we are with them in this.
Says that he totally agrees with the governor of Kaduna State that no negotiation should be done with bandits. However, the government should talk to the parents of the abducted children to show what they are doing to get them released.
Oh, it seems to be a consensus on that one. Olagunjo Oladele says, tackling insecurity has a lot to do with more education and less military strength. Is that the kinetic and non-kinetic? Education provides long-term security and sustainability, while the military and police provide security on demand. Education comes first, so people don't see crime as a source of wealth.
Yomi Williams says, I think we should be fair on the government of Kaduna State. Issues of security is the sole responsibility of the federal government. Governor El Rufai can only perform his possible best. He cannot give absolute orders to security agencies in his state. Only the president can.
And Professor Nakina says, until we build stronger institutions that guarantee the continuation of government policies, successive governments will continue to embark on jaded economic policies that do not impact positively on the lives of Nigerians. To fix Nigeria, we must fix power and security.
Well, Dr. Brownsa keeps it specifically short and simple. He says, Nigeria should be solving insecurity, not fighting insecurity.
All right, let's take this last one from Wasborn. Yeah, Sam Wasborn.
Wasborn, oh.
Okay, well, it says, for the first time, I believe, since I have been married for 16 years now, I had an argument with my wife on the cost of running the home. Whoa. The inflation rate is galloping. Foodstuff prices are rising too fast. The government should do something, he says. Thank you, Osborne, for speaking for the majority.
So government made him argue with his wife for the first time.
For the very first time. Oh dear.
Oh boy. What can we do about this kind of things? It's not a good place to be.
Oh, while we think about that, well, it's been a show this morning. We'd like to thank you so much for joining us. I am Kayode Kikelu.
I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Well, to all the men out there, just shake body, you know. It's not your wife's fault that the cost of things are going up. So she comes back from the market and said, this is how it is. That's how it is, you know.
Oh, Christ.
Until
I don't even know what to say about that one.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching Abakwe Ogunyusu.
I thought it was a function of budgeting.
What?
I'm Ayo Makede. Have a wonderful day and please keep safe.